Hello, my name is Randy Gottfried, Director of Classroom Support Services. I want to warmly welcome you to our Fall Convocation and Opening Week. Thank you for joining us today. Our Convocation event will look a little bit different in this virtual format, but it is great to have so many people here. Before we begin, we would like to take a moment to acknowledge that Shoreline Community College sits on the traditional land of the Duwamish people, past and present. The college grounds once served as a special place for gathering traditional foods in ways that increased the bounty of the land. We are called to continue that stewardship as we write the next chapter of our college. To help start our morning, we'll begin with a few words from our Board of Trustees Chair, Dr. Catherine D'Ambrosio, who will share greetings from the board as we begin our academic year. Please join me in welcoming Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Catherine D'Ambrosio. I serve as the chair of Shoreline Community Colleges, your college's Board of Trustees. As such, it is my honor and my privilege to get to speak with each of you and welcome you to the 2020-2021 academic year. Each of you here today with me in my study are making history as you forge forward in these yet uncharted areas, in the entirely virtual acquisition of higher learning, achieving your academic goals and acquiring the knowledge and skills necessary to move forward in your life and in your career. You are making history, stepping boldly and bravely into the future, working entirely online. Many of you have already made history, forgoing your senior dances and parties and trips, virtually celebrating your sacred high school commencement, an achievement of 12 years of your hard work and dedication. Now, as you enter college, you'll be meeting your college friends, many of whom you'll have the rest of your life. You'll be meeting your colleagues and your professors, all virtually. There will, however, be nothing virtual about the knowledge, skills, and expertise you will acquire here at Shoreline Community College, only the manner in which you acquire this knowledge and these new skills. I often say that my PhD, Philosopher Doctor, was more a matter of determination and perseverance than any intellectual brilliance. An entirely new level of dedication and perseverance will be required of each of you and your instructors, your professors, and the vast array of highly skilled and dedicated classified staff and administrative staff who are the engine of our college, working behind the scenes and keeping us all moving forward. You, the history makers. The history makers never really want to be the ones making history. Any person who has ever made history has generally done so quite reluctantly and would have so much preferred to have let somebody else do the history making and just read about it after the fact, right? I stand in awe of your bravery, your courage, your determination, and the perseverance you will have to muster to forge ahead in this strange, new, virtual world. We thank you for entrusting your education, your hopes, and dreams to Shoreline Community College. We are so honored that you have chosen Shoreline. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we wish you the very best on this brave venture of yours. Good luck. And we will all be so very proud to see you at your commencement. Godspeed.
I'd like to now invite this year's Associated Student Government President, Sunshine Chang, to share a few words with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Sunshine Chung. I am Shoreline's Student Body President and I'm here to welcome you to the next academic year as well as talk a little bit about student life. Student life is divided into two sectors, the Arts and Entertainment Board, which is made up of 7 student leaders responsible for planning, promoting, and hosting events throughout the year, and our Associated Student Government, comprised of 13 student leaders who represent our students interests and advocate for their personal and academic success. To say that we are facing unprecedented times would be an understatement, and we at Student Life are working hard to provide support for the impact that the current climate has had on both our staff and students, with initiatives such as the provision of reusable cloth masks and the allocation of computers to students in need. We invite you to connect with us on any of our social media platforms, such as on Facebook or Instagram, or alternatively, if you would like to connect with me personally, I can be reached at my student email at sunshine.chung@go.shoreline.edu. On behalf of all of Student Life, thank you. We are looking forward to another great year.
Hello, campus community. This is the voice of Rob Berg, media producer for Classroom Support Services. I'm now going to introduce some of our new full-time employees that have joined us since fall convocation last year. Pete Babington, Acting Director of Facilities and Capital Projects, restoring daughter's 1971 VW bus. Don Beck, Vice President for Business and Administrative Services. I started as a work-study student in community college and am grateful to be part of helping our students achieve their goals. Kelly Blackard, Program Specialist, Continuing Education. When I'm not developing continuing education classes, I'm home spoiling my dog or baking. Jen Bryant, Program Specialist, E-Learning and Student Accessibility Services. I worked for Shoreline Community College previously beginning in 2018, but also make art, play video games, have one grown son, and 2 awesome dogs. Eugene Buabang, Campus Security Officer, Safety and Security. I'm a huge fan of New York Giants football and also enjoy all outdoor activities. Joe Chapa, Organizational Change and Project Manager, CTC Link. I enjoy helping people take on new challenges and solve problems. I am always happy to help where I can. Michelle Cimaroli, Foundation Manager, Shoreline Community College Foundation. I have a passion for life and helping others, and I love to laugh. When we are back on campus, you will probably hear my laughter across campus. McCall DeGraff, Gender Equity Center Manager, Student Support Services. McCall loves gardening, cats, and smashing the patriarchy. Diana Daughter, Interim Executive Director, Shoreline Community College Foundation. Helping people help the world. Tamami Eggers, Administrative Assistant, Humanities and Transitional Studies. I love nature, animals, love to cook, love various different types of music, and love to dance. I'm on a dance team for Brazilian Zouk. Irene Ferrante, Business Marketing Instructor, Business Administration. A transplant to Seattle from the East Coast, I never met a carbohydrate or fat I didn't like. Terrell Fox, Administrative Assistant, Health Occupations. I am a former Marine officer and have an MFA in Creative Writing and Poetics. Cliff Fredrickson, Budget Director, Budget and Capital Finance, BAS. I want to do things correctly. Fabian Fuentes, Benefits Hub Program Coordinator, Gender Equity Center. I enjoy watching and playing sports. Douglas Hobb, Administrative Assistant, Business Communication Studies and Social Sciences. I love the outdoors, particularly when fresh powder and sunshine are involved. Amy Henson, Grounds and Nursery Specialist, Facilities and Capital Projects. Grew up in northern Nevada and moved to Puget Sound in 1998. She now lives on Ebby Island in Everett on a 120-year-old family farm. David Isaac, Human Resources Consultant, Human Resources. I'm always available to help. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need anything. Huen Jahed, Custodian, Facilities and Capital Projects. I am a hard worker. We'll introduce more new employees a little later on. Now, back to Randy.
Now I'm going to turn this over to President Roberts for our Employee Recognition Awards.
Good morning, and thank you, Randy. You're doing a wonderful job being our moderator this morning. Good morning, everyone, and it's good to see so many of you. This is a welcome part of our morning, the presentation of Employees of the Year Awards for Administrator, Classified, and Faculty. We will now present the first of Shoreline's 3 employee awards, the Administrator of the Year. These are some statements from submissions from the nominating committee about our administrator. Continues to be enthusiastic and efficient to adapt to the online learning and working environment with a positive growth mindset. Leads by example and always makes it a priority to support staff on their team and the students. Has led countless projects and still always made time for their direct reports on a regular basis. Always makes sure we are making the appropriate assessment and plans to best help our students. Listens and is someone that people can go to with concerns and know that is truly a safe place. The recipient of the 2020 Administrator of the Year is Derek Levy, Dean of Student Supports and Access. Congratulations, Derek. We are so thrilled that you are this year's recipient, and you will receive an engraved crystal vase that will be mailed to your address. We hope that you'll share a few words with your colleagues this morning. Congratulations, Derek.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Roberts. That was unexpected. Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful coming from my son's room as we're all Zooming from different spaces right now to work with such a great team. I love the people I work with. I love our mission. I love our students that we serve. So that makes leaning into it that much easier to have the great people around me. So I'm grateful for them. Thank you for the nomination, and to the committee, thank you. Wow.
Well, congratulations. We were in a breakout room, and I was like trying not to over focus on you this morning because I knew what was going to be happening right now. So congratulations, well deserved. So next, I get the privilege of presenting the Classified Star of the Year Award, and I'd like to thank the Classified Star of the Year Selection Committee for assisting in this nomination process. So here are some statements from submissions nominating this classified staff member, which include consistently goes above and beyond the job expectations, demonstrates a consistent high level of service to the college, initiates special projects for the betterment of a department or the campus community, demonstrates a commitment and service to special students and community populations, assist students by going the extra mile and to help them navigate the processes and procedures toward their success as a student. These are comments from the nominating committee. There are no better examples of work excellence, outstanding service, extraordinary cooperation and collaboration, and truly innovative thinking than what we've seen this year. Among many other hundreds of examples, we have seen Shoreline deliver equipment directly to our students who did not have transportation or an address. We have seen one-on-one work with hundreds of students in registration and financial aid and dedicated work hours to help students and faculty access campus resources more easily. We have seen learning and teaching each other Zoom and create MS Teams to work collaboratively. We have seen continued help to our students so they can register and graduate in this most difficult circumstance. We have seen work being done on campus while juggling their own personal crises at home. This has truly been a massive collective effort by every individual staff member at the college. And we have seen the evidence of this hard work in increased enrollments for summer, and we can't thank them enough. Due to the extraordinary circumstances brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic and the necessity of our moving to remote learning and working in an impossibly short period of time, the 2019-20 Selection Committee proudly awards the Star of the Year Award to the entire classified staff of Shoreline Community College. I'd like to congratulate all of you. It's all so well deserved. And I've asked on behalf of all the classified employees, Chief Shop Steward Paul Fernandez, to say a few words on their behalf. Paul.
Okay, it is an honor to accept this award on behalf of my fellow classified staff members. We are a team. Like I've said multiple times at the Board of Trustees meetings, I do want to thank all of my fellow classified members for stepping up in these difficult times and continue to provide the great service that we provide to our students. We are usually the first and the last people that our students see when they choose to come to Shoreline Community College. And thank you, we are a team. That's all.
And thank you, Paul. We wanted to keep it a surprise, so we just let Paul, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago or an hour that you were.
It's 20.
Thank you for sharing
Okay.
the words. They mean so much. And congratulations. What a great way to honor the work of the classified staff members, all doing such great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now on to our final employee award, the Exceptional Faculty Award. I'd like to thank the Exceptional Faculty Awards Recommendation Committee for assisting with this award nomination. Statements from submissions nominating this faculty member include: is supportive to all students and faculty at all times, and is very diligent at giving students a welcoming space to experiment and learn, rather than just showing and leading top down. An inspiration to all who work tirelessly so that these students are inspired to grow, learn, and achieve all they can, and in the process know that this person believes in them. Ceaselessly helps colleagues in their department create their online teaching material, encouraged our students and fellow faculty to embrace new methods of teaching and learning, alleviated everyone's anxiety during the stressful situation, and kept an endlessly optimistic frame of mind. Encourages everyone in class to participate and challenges students to achieve and advance their skills at a level and pace that works for them. Is always available to talk and is always there to support us in anything we, the students, may need. The recipient of the 2020 Exceptional Faculty Award is Professor Tony Dupay, Film, Drama, and Cinema. Tony, congratulations. We're going to be sending you as well an engraved vase that will come to your home, and we'd love for you to share a few words with the campus community. Congratulations, Tony.
Oh, wow. Oh, just a sec. I can't figure out my video. Shaking.
Not that you know anything about video.
Right. Oh, thank you so much. I work with a great group of people in a wonderful division, and Shoreline's been a part of my world for, gosh, since I went to school here when I was 19 years old. So I thank you. I'm emotional right now, and I appreciate it. My faculty and staff, they prop me up, and the students make us great. And I hope to continue to be working at Shoreline for a lot longer. And not to use this as a political platform, but I think it's really important that we encourage everybody around us, including our students, to vote and to let them know how powerful their vote can be. And to quote the late, great John Lewis, vote like we've never voted before. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing everybody really soon in person.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all of our award winners for their heartfelt comments about what's so great about Shoreline. And it's talks about the best of who we are, and we are honored. We are honored by the work that you do and that all of us do. Thank you. Back to Randy.
Thank you very much. And my congratulations to Derek, Tony, and the entire classified staff. I truly enjoy working with all of you. The award is well deserved. Just my congratulations and thanks to everyone. Now we are going to move forward. We are going to take a look at the second set of new employees that have joined our campus. So let's take a look at this video.
Here are some more new employees. Derek Jorgensen, Instructional Designer, E-Learning Services and Classroom Support Services. I've worked in higher education for 20 years, and I'm always excited to meet new colleagues to collaborate and grow together. Crystal Koop, Running Start Program Coordinator, Advising Department. I am one of your new shop stewards. Rachel Lee, Full-time Faculty in Anthropology. Originally from New York City, I moved to Seattle 4 years ago and have been teaching anthropology at various local schools, most recently at North Seattle College. Kate Bailey Llewellyn, Pro Rata Instructor in Computer Science. I am passionate about sharing the joy and potential of technology with students and increasing support for diverse individuals in STEM fields. Tricia Lovely, Title IX EEO Coordinator, Human Resources and Public Relations. When I'm not working, I love to spend time reading, going to the beach, and watching old episodes of Scooby-Doo with my son. Steve Marshall, Program Specialist in Access and Advising. I am passionate about helping students achieve their educational goals, and I'm eager to tackle the challenges of the coming year. Jonathan Molinaro, Assistant Dean, Transitional Studies. Jonathan is excited to be joining Shoreline and supporting Transitional Studies faculty and staff as they continue to create an equitable, accessible, and innovative environment for students to thrive. Brandy Akano, Payroll and Benefits Coordinator, Human Resources and Employee Relations. I enjoy baking, and my New Year's resolution is to bake more pies. Inez Olive, Adult Learner Outreach Recruiter, Workforce Education and Communications and Marketing. I work with all adult learners, ESL, ABE, Workforce, and Transfer. Samuel Perez, Fiscal Specialist, Financial Services. Moved to Seattle in October 2019 from Eastern Washington. I am a twin and look forward to growing my career here at Shoreline Community College. Rachel Rawl, Biotechnology Faculty, Tenure Track, Biology Department. I am a science-loving, tea-drinking, mountain-hiking bookworm from Utah, and I am so excited to be a part of SCC. Mariah Schissel, Executive Assistant, Student Learning. I began my new role at Shoreline in March, just before we went remote. I look forward to meeting you all in person. Megan Winter, Acting Assistant Director of Student Leadership and Residential Life. I live here on campus, huge nerd, have a cat named Mango. Nolan Worrell, Toyota T10 Instructor, Automotive. Award-winning Master Diagnostic Technician, excited about developing and mentoring new Toyota technicians entering the workforce. To all our new employees, welcome to Shoreline. Now, back to Randy.
Very much. Welcome to the new employees we have here. I look forward to working with you. And now Cheryl has some more words for us.
Good morning again. I also just want to recognize our Board of Trustees, our Chair, Dr. Catherine D'Ambrosio, our Vice Chair, Dr. Doug Jackson, Trustee Tom Lux, and Trustee Eben Hobie. They do an extraordinary job of providing leadership, support to me and to the rest of the campus and our community. So I just wanted to honor them as well this morning. Back to you, Randy.
Thank you, and welcome to the board. As everyone has seen by now, our college has a new website, homepage, and main menu that were significantly overhauled over this summer to be more welcoming to students and easier for them to navigate. The importance of making our website a well-structured, accessible, and consistent experience for students is critical, especially now that we are in remote operations. Please enjoy this brief video that showcases how the homepage project was researched, tested, built, and launched.
Over the last year, our website has received over 1 million views. That's why it was important to design our site to be accessible, equitable, energizing, helpful, inspiring, and sustainable. We used advanced user research methods to learn how students use the site and organize information. Using additional data and research, we mapped out the student journey from exploration through graduation. We then outlined and tested our content to make sure we're providing our students with the best possible experience to help them achieve their goals. The final design was tested with prospective and current students.
I would say right away I'm definitely drawn to the explore programs because that box really stands out to me.
I like this, that the very next thing is about money, because I feel like that's what a lot of people are looking for.
Ooh, yeah, definitely keep the colors with the logos. That looks really cool. I like that.
This really is an influential factor for me because I was really concerned about the geographic location of the school.
This whole top of the website features a lot of good important information. I went here and then I knew right away, okay, when I saw tutoring, I said, yep, this is the place.
It did feel professional. It felt inviting.
It was really clean, and I just remember the tagline, reimagining possible. And I guess because it related to my situation, I liked it and it felt familiar to me.
Thank you for watching that video with us. I appreciate Adam's work and the whole communication and marketing team as they've redesigned our website. At this time, we'll take a 10-minute break. During this interlude, Jeff Cashwa has graciously agreed to play some music for us. So please take a moment to grab a refreshment, take a wellness break, and enjoy the music of one of our talented employees and performing artists. We'll reconvene this convocation session at 9:10. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, and my thanks to Jeff for that amazing music. I want to welcome everyone back. Second part of the program here. We want to thank you for being with us again this morning. So lovely to have you all here. The next thing we're going to take a look at is a short video that was drawn from the voices of our students. So
I'm double majoring in business and accounting and minoring in communication.
I'm studying physics. I'm hoping to become a research professor.
I'm going to be majoring in political science.
I am studying language arts. I want to become a teacher.
Taking online classes, it's very self-paced and very flexible in that you can set your own routine.
It's nice that you can kind of build around your schedule.
I am able to complete more classes that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
I definitely had my reservations when online learning started. I didn't know if I could manage my time right. When you do online learning, you have this whole support network that is in place to help lift you up.
Shoreline's really helped me grow into like a more confident student, and it's really nice because you do save a lot of money.
Whether you're an early bird or whether you're a night owl, you can kind of decide your own routine and the pace that you're going to study at.
I think that Shoreline has some of the best accessibility out of any campus that I've seen.
They love when you reach out, so I would constantly be asking my professors questions and not be scared because they want to answer your questions, and that's why they're there.
The community of students and teachers and faculty was so amazing to me. That's what really drew me in.
I think that welcoming energy, that attitude of we want to support you is the best thing about Shoreline that there is.
I've been there for 2 years now, and I've really enjoyed all my time there.
Or at least I think that we're all trying to adapt to something completely new for all of us, and it's become very evident, at least to me, not only how much the staff and faculty at Shoreline care about the success of its students, but also how strong and adaptive and flexible our students can be.
the video we just watched serves as a wonderful reminder that students truly are the reason we are all here at Shoreline. It is now my honor to introduce President Cheryl Roberts, who will help us reflect on our past academic year and share a vision of key initiatives and areas of focus for this year's, all within a steady focus on the success of our students. Her remarks were recorded less than 1 day after she broke her wrist, which I think we all would agree is a testament to her dedication to Shoreline Community College. Please join me in welcoming President Roberts.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fall Quarter. It warms my heart to be with all of you for Fall Convocation and Opening Week. This is not the way we hope to begin our academic year in separate physical locations, yet we find ourselves experiencing something we could not have imagined a year ago. However, over the past 6 months, we've found ways to keep the special spirit of Shoreline moving forward, create community, and have our students experience what makes Shoreline so special, the care and attention we provide our students. It's still wonderful to know that we can be together even though we're physically apart. And the reason we're gathering today is to help create another exceptional and amazing year of learning and support for our students, and to do it with positiveness within us in an academic year and time that is like no other. Let me begin by sharing a heartfelt thank you for everything you've done to navigate what's been a historic time for our college, our community, our nation, and the world. We did it focused on this singular purpose, creating an inclusive college focused on teaching and learning, student success, and community engagement. I think we would agree that 2020 has been unlike anything we've ever experienced. We're being challenged in every aspect of our lives, personally, professionally, financially, emotionally, mentally, socially, health-wise, and more. The pandemic, racial injustice, an economic recession with resulting impact on our college budget, and the political landscape are stressors that often feel overwhelming for us, our families, our students, and our communities. I'm reminded of words Maya Angelou shared. The quality of strength lined with tenderness is an unbeatable combination. So today we'll use some of our time together to reflect on how we want to use our strength and tenderness to enter the academic year, knowing that we are all burdened by so much, and our students are burdened by so much. This year may not feel easy, and there are many external forces that are against us. However, we are called to find a way, to make a way for our students. This is a year we must reimagine what possible looks like by being a united college, building a coherent college experience so students can succeed. Though we face many challenges, it's easy to remember that what we do have the ability to manage is our outlook, our attitude, and how we treat one another. How we face these challenges will determine whether we succeed in overcoming them. We know on the other side of these challenges will be each of us. So how we enter into this work will define us going forward by our strength and tenderness. For this year's fall convocation, I wanted to remind us of all the great things that have been achieved together in the last year, take stock of where we are now, and set intentions for entering into this next academic year with a clear purpose for how to best serve our students and each other. In 2019-2020, the college has continued to make steady progress on many initiatives. This is our time to celebrate all of these accomplishments. Some highlights are from this previous year. They include, we served 9,767 students, and as I always say, one student at a time, and graduated 1,363 students, with the largest number of students participating in our virtual commencement exercise of 1,004. We completely and abruptly shifted to remote operations and remote instructions for the first time ever in a matter of days. We have received the Tree Campus USA designation for the third year. With the support of the ASG and the SCOF committee, we have purchased dozens and dozens of permanent recycling receptacles, replacing temporary bins that have been on campus for decades. We opened our first ever student residence hall last fall and quickly achieved 100% occupancy before COVID-19 struck. We collectively undertook a comprehensive review of all of our departments to analyze our organizational structures, assess our expenses and revenues, and understand how we compare to our peer colleges. We continued to improve our financial practices and brought our financial statements and auditing work up to date. We did the hard work of examining our $2.2 million budget shortfall and made reductions to bring our budget back into balance before COVID. Our strategic planning steering committees continued making important recommendations and progress on our 5-year strategic plan. We began the all-important work of business process mapping and change management work to lay out the foundation for our CTC link implementation. We started our first year of planning for guided pathways, which will provide an important foundation for this year. We launched a new homepage on our website with improved navigation and a design that puts students at the forefront. And our foundation awarded 190 scholarships for a total of $248,000, and through their emergency funds, supported 320 students for a total of $188,000. Through the college's partnership with the United Way Benefit Hub, we served 674 students and the college supported 160 students with $244,000 in care funds for spring and summer. In summary, we supported almost 1,500 students with a grand total of nearly $700,000. And we did this all as we continued to provide exceptional teaching, learning, student services, and college operations during a very uncertain time. As we move into our new academic year, we want to build on these important accomplishments. However, we also must wrestle with significant new and ongoing challenges and address areas where we know improvements must be made. In addition to preparing for our accreditation visit on November 2nd through 4th and advancing guided pathways, closing opportunity gaps so our students achieve, complete, and succeed, move forward our CTC link conversion, and the final years of our strategic plan, there are added challenges this year. The first being, of course, responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 certainly will continue to force us to stretch our imagination around what college can look like, how we can best do our work, and how we can continue to equitably engage students through screens and technology while reconfiguring many physical spaces on our campus to adjust to a different way of interacting when they are on campus. We will need to plan to remain nimble and agile, as we must expect that the pandemic and our nation's response may continue to present many new challenges that will test us. Currently, we are planning to be primarily remote until we see significant shifts in the COVID pandemic status in our region. Our Board of Trustees is appointed by the governor with certain roles and responsibilities. As a policy governance board, they approve policies, hold each of us accountable through the policies and procedures and practices that operationalize the expectations of our work. Governance is a central framework that recognizes the authority of the Board of Trustees and the delegated responsibilities of the Office of the President to provide administrative review and recommendations on operational and planning decisions. It is also built on the principles of responsibility and accountability in planning the college by engaging each constituent group, students, faculty, staff, classified and exempt staff, to influence decisions on matters of mutual interest. We planned to begin reviewing our governance policy last winter before the onset of COVID-19. We realized that we cannot delay this work as the pandemic continues, and understanding policy governance and our roles within it will strengthen our ability to work collaboratively and cooperatively together, as well as understand our responsibilities within the larger state system we are part of. We will begin this work this fall and continue the conversation with the campus community throughout this academic year as we bring our reviewed policy to the Board of Trustees for approval late winter or early spring quarter. The major reason for our budget shortfall is the result of a permanent loss of state revenue associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. This is putting us and every community and technical college into financial instability, one that is likely to take years for us to rebound. We have already and will continue to have to make extremely difficult and painful decisions in order to bring the college to a stable fiscal position, as unsteady enrollments and shrinking state allocations continue to have the power of destabilizing our financial footing. This is a significant inflection point in our history. The pandemic is necessitating that we reimagine what Shoreline Community College looks like. We are going to have to shift how we do things and how we're structured. And I know none of this is either easy or comfortable. Prior to the beginning of fall quarter, I was compelled to send the campus a message about the work we need to consider in order to move forward our values of inclusion, diversity, and equity. We all know that actions speak to what we value, And so this year, the Strategic Planning Steering Committees presented recommendations to the executive team on work that would move forward our 3 strategic goals. Those goals are student learning, disciplined excellence, and the 3 E's: ecological integrity, economic viability, and social equity. All recommendations were accepted and priorities were established to complete this year. This morning, I want to highlight the recommendations from the Inclusive Excellence Steering Committee. These are times that will define us. Over the recent weeks and months, we have continued to see incidents of police brutality and the injustice of racism and inequities against Black communities, locally and nationally. These events have heightened our awareness of the centuries of racism and social inequities that have been a part of the fabric of our nation. As a place of learning, we are called to not only listen and support our Black students and employees, but to improve their educational experience and outcomes, as well as their working experiences on our campus. Our community standards speak to what we stand for and stand against, because when one of us is diminished, we are all diminished. As a college, we support Black Lives Matters because their tenets stand for creating a culture where each person feels seen, heard, and supported. These principles align with what we care about. We stand with our Black, Indigenous, people of color, BIPOC, as we affirm our commitment to community standards and our values. Our beloved, the late Congressman John Robert Lewis, lived a life of nonviolence and peaceful demonstration. He continues to provide an excellent example in these eloquent words. We must find a way to get in the way, to get into trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble. We are called to action, and so the executive team has accepted the recommendation put forth by the Inclusive Excellence Steering Committee and the members of the Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Team. It is a multiple year set of recommendations outlined in the Inclusive Excellence Summary 2020. And we'll be working on this year and for years to come. The Board of Trustees is alongside the executive team in supporting this work, and I'd like to share with you some of the recommendations for 2021. We want to establish clear annual goals within a 5-year plan related to efforts which support increased diversity of applicants and new hires with regard to recruitment, hiring, and retention of Black, Latinx, Native American, Asian, Pacific Islander, and LGBTQ employees. Hire a position to provide leadership to our diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. This position would provide an equity lens to our hiring, recruitment, campus policies and practices, and facilitate DEI professional learning at the college. Create communication strategies with a web presence for DEI resources, affinity groups, and events at Shoreline, including resources for search committees, NCIR training, and a list of certified search advocates. Ensure new and not so new employee orientation include and centers an introduction to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Develop asynchronous DEI learning opportunities on demand in an online format. Strengthen support for historically underrepresented students through efforts such as improved space for the multicultural and gender equity centers, additional financial support, and bring to scale significant academic and student success retention work involving all employees at the college. Build a foundation for data-informed recruiting strategies related to historically underrepresented students, and continue opportunity gap and guided pathways work groups, and implement recommendations related to equity. Finally, amidst all of this, we also have to take an honest look at our student outcomes. We have to reconcile the fact that while we intend for all students to find the support and success they need to reach their educational goals, They often do not. And those outcomes steeply worsen for our BIPOP students and historically underrepresented students. We must do better, and we can do better. Our equity work must be intensified, and we cannot wait to put some intentional practices and measures in place to ensure that every student has what they need to excel. The good news is there are examples from other colleges who have faced similar student opportunity gaps, and they have made significant improvements in their outcomes. But how did they do it? It didn't happen by accident, and it didn't happen by a small group of people on a small scale. We need to bring foundational pieces that have been known to support students into practice and at making them mandatory. As we know, students don't do optional. We saw this in action when we made smarter measures mandatory for spring quarter. Almost 6,000 students enrolled in spring 2020, and 4,500 started the assessment, with almost 4,200 completing the assessment. That's a 90% completion rate. Here are some of the key findings. Separating students by race and ethnicity shows historically underrepresented students benefited from smarter measure. Students of color taking smarter measure have higher average GPAs for the quarter compared to students of color who didn't take smarter measure. The effect is a bit smaller for white students. These results are even more apparent the first quarter a student takes smarter balance. In the case of Black students, it is the difference between successfully completing their classes. As Dr. Vincent Tinto, a sage researcher of student success from the University of Syracuse, said, we have to stop tinkering on the margins if we're committed to increasing student success and retention. Our work on guided pathways talks about the 5 conditions needed. Expectations. Students believe you believe they can meet the expectations and they are clearly set. Support. Academic, social, and emotional. Feedback. Students receive feedback about what is expected and how they are doing on their performance. Involvement. When students are engaged with faculty, staff, and their peers in meaningful ways, it matters to their success. And learning. The more students learn, the more they value their learning, and the more likely they are to stay and graduate. Students stay when the learning is relevant and they see themselves and their ideas reflected in that learning. This is a special place we call Shoreline. Our goal is to bring this experience to all of our students. In order to reimagine possible, we must accept that we are in a difficult moment and see clearly that there are ways to build a plan for getting through this and remaining resilient. Some of the things we'll need to reimagine ourselves this year include recognizing that we can't make a significant change alone and that we are all in this together. It will take effort from all of us to move forward and achieve change. Be willing to experience new or uncomfortable ideas that push us to let go of some things that are familiar, to work on things that really matter. Be accountable to our commitments. Stay informed. Be willing to learn new skills, understand our roles, and be creative about finding resolutions that will help us move forward. Treat all of our colleagues with dignity and regard, as we would like to be treated. This is a tough time for all of us, and we are all important in creating the Shoreline experience for our students. Continue to center our students' welfare and experience in new ways, and accept that our positive intentions alone are not enough to help them persist and achieve their goals. In closing, this is the work that we have ahead of us, and I know we are the right people at the right time to do this. Thank you all so much for attending this year's Convocation and Opening Week. There are many new learning opportunities and occasions for reconnection and re-engagement in the coming days. Let's seize this moment. Let us recommit our resolve to surmount our challenges while remaining flexible and open to change and new ideas. Let's take bold steps to advance our vision and values for success during these trying times with tenderness and strength, not only for our students, but for each other. Let's reimagine possible. Welcome to Fall 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts. As we move towards the end of our program, we have another short video that reminds us a little about the adversity we faced earlier this year and how we came together as a team and rose to the occasion of this unprecedented time. Please watch this video with us.
Breaking news tonight, America shuts down.
It is not rhetorical or hyperbolic when I say that everyone needs to change their behavior.
I think the vibe on campus was pretty nervous.
We were early wiping down machines.
You know, everybody on campus and the whole world was just trying to understand what's happening, what's coming next.
I can remember being in a Zoom hall meeting and making that decision in real time, saying that by Monday we are going to go remote.
The mask thing was really big. Like, students were wearing masks, they wanted us to wear masks. When we're in uncharted territory, like, we can learn from each other quite a bit.
This protest in Tacoma, one of several from Montana to Washington today. On the lines, nurses and other healthcare workers who say a shortage of masks is putting them at risk every day.
Tori Stenmark and Kira Winstrom had a really brilliant idea. They brought it forward to administration, and that was to identify where our own masks that we had received in our emergency pack for fall convocation. And they recalled having the N95 masks there. And so we had a call out to the campus if you were interested. And we had to locate where they were in people's offices. And Tori went with a security person, opened up the door, and went in and got masks, and along with other PPE that we had on campus, to give to the healthcare providers.
So we had to really expand our remote services, and we did that through a service called Ask WA. And then we incorporated Zoom into our reference services so that we could meet with students and support their research questions.
When we found out that people were being sent home, so students were going to study from home and employees were going to work from home, the biggest need that was immediately recognized was that people would need to have adequate computers to work from home with. Tracy Bierkesset in Technology Support Services, after quite a bit of trying, found large blocks of systems that we could buy and send home with people so that people would have something to work on.
Rick in TSS was able to find a product called Splashtop, which is a way to kind of remote in for students. So there was a lot of coordination necessary between the library, TSS, and e-learning to get the laptop checkout program off the ground.
Joe has done a yeoman's job because he's the first line of contact. People say, hey, I need a laptop. And then he sends that information on to Suzanne, and the TSS was buying laptops. They would get them ready to go. They'd get the programs on it. We'd catalog them and then head them out to Suzanne so Suzanne could get them out to the students that needed them. It was a team process that worked well.
When they got the systems home, there was quite a period of adjustment for people who don't normally work from home. And TSS personnel really stepped up, and people were really patient with us as we would work through hour-long tech support calls.
So then we put together Foundations for Online Learning class, which was, we had a self-paced version and then a facilitated version the first week of spring quarter, and then also one that was self-paced again into spring quarter. So faculty had a choice of how they wanted to learn how to use Canvas.
We realized pretty early on that we were going to need to have mobile phones for our employees that directly serve students, and so that happened.
I was really appreciative that we put students online first in winter quarter, and then we had kind of a week to sort that out, and then I think it was about a week or two later, all staff went fully online. I think that our campus response to COVID has been exceptional. And not just my personal opinion, but I've heard from a lot of associate faculty who work on other campuses as well, have really just said that Shoreline had its act together, Shoreline was prepared, Shoreline had resources for students and staff and faculty.
People in our department, people across Shoreline have really risen to the occasion. Students have risen to the occasion, and it gives me a lot of hope for the future for Shoreline and for our mission.
We have kept on supporting students throughout this pandemic, throughout this historic time, and we're very proud of that.
We had a plan, and everyone really executed on that plan really brilliantly, and we were a team, and we continue to be a team as we think about what reopening might look like.
Thank you to everyone for participating in this year's Fall Convocation. Today you will find a variety of breakout sessions designed to educate us and bring us closer together as we remain apart. You can find links to these sessions on the opening week webpage. The first of these sessions begin at noon today. We'll see you there. Thank you for joining us. Have a good fall quarter.